Welcome, everyone. This is our April Town Hall, although officially in May. For everyone who's new, April. For everyone who's new, the purpose of these town halls is to update you guys on the company and the website and give you an opportunity to ask questions of us and really just try to enable transparency that, sometimes you don't see in other companies. We consider ourselves collectors. We do this really for our passions. And so we want to make sure that you guys have a voice and that we get to communicate with you directly when we can. My name is Mylan. I'm the CEO of Loot Labs, which makes Boxed. And today I'm joined by our community manager, Luke, as well as our CMO, Scott. What's up, guys?
What's good?
What up, everyone? Glad to be back. Happy May.
As you guys can guess, we're going to talk a lot about everything that's been happening on Boxed. So the agenda is mostly recent and upcoming product updates, upcoming community events, and then we do Q&As periodically through the whole thing. So to kick things off, we can go over some recent product updates. Scott, I see that this says me/you. Did you have a preference on which?
You can go. Mostly you. That was Luke.
Awesome. So yeah, profiles launched. I'm sure you guys are aware of that. So now you can click on any user in the chat, copy affiliate codes quickly, see all their forge boxes, see stats, and there's a lot more coming on that as well. So profiles are just the beginning. We want to make Box more social and more fun to engage with each other. We also have some more tech things like smarter search. So now when you're in the Forge or Marketplace or Exchange and you're searching, for example, Pika or Moon or Char, sort of like half words or partial, completed typings, it will now be a lot better at showing you what you're actually trying to find. So we're constantly trying to improve stuff like that, and search is now a lot better. Secondly, the Exchange. Now it's in beta, so we have the revamped Exchange with a lot more functionality. It supports more items, and it's also a lot better in interacting with our inventory systems. So we made sure that everything in there is available and very quick to ship. And if things become unavailable, we dynamically adjust things. So we just, we tried to make sure that was fully bolstered and ready to go before we put it back out into the world. So now Exchange is live. We also are finally live once again with Counter-Strike. So Counter-Strike was something that we launched later last year. We had some work to do to really get it ready for prime time, and now it is back in the open. So if you guys like Counter-Strike skins or want to open them, then you have the ability to do so, withdraw directly to your Steam account. So that is in the works, or is working, I should say. But there's always, improvements going to be coming on things like that. And then lastly, along the lines of Counter-Strike and new categories, we have sports. So with sports cards, it's a little bit different than our normal category launch because we essentially have access to a lot of sports cards. And sports, there's a lot of different sports out there that have sort of different properties, different supplies. And so what we did was we tried to make a category with all the sports in one, and then we allowed you guys to create forge boxes to populate that category. So right now, all of the sports category is forge boxes with items that we have available. But as we progress, we'll be releasing more around sports and, making it a little bit more custom as well. So go check that out if you are a sports fan. I know I'm trying to get more into sports collecting, so I will be using it and probably buying some of your guys' forge boxes in the near future. So I think that's about it on my recent product updates. Any questions or comments on all the things we just said? Are any of the gem missions legit? You tried a gem mission that told me to get level 2, but there was no levels on the app. Gem missions are populated by one of our partners, and so as far as I know, most of them are legit and track well, but sometimes there's some issues in how they connect with the app. If you use something like a VPN, or if you, let's say, like start it on your computer and try to finish it on your phone, then there's some disconnect sometimes there. So what I recommend is you make sure that you read all the terms and the specific requirements of gem missions. And also, we have a Discord channel here that talks about gem missions where people post what was easy to do, what was hard to do, what works and what doesn't. So I recommend if you want to do gem missions, definitely check that out.
Are we implementing sealed product in boxes or marketplaces, man?
Yeah, I mean, we actually just bought a lot of sealed product through our network of local game stores. One of the things about sealed product is we don't want to be scalpers. We generally aren't big fans of people who scalp and what it does to the space. So So when we buy sealed product, it has to be legit. So we're not going to have as much as some other folks, right? Because we're not trying to make that problem worse. Yeah. So Browntown, to address your concerns, generally speaking, I mean, one, we're not a scam. I mean, as far as our service, you get cards when you withdraw them. We try to ensure that they're near mint, and the majority of the time they are. If they aren't, we have a guarantee to replace them. So as far as us being legit, we try to do everything as above board and transparently as we can. And hopefully, this town hall and me answering your question live on stage is a testament to that. I would say generally, if you're finding that you're not getting good hits, the spice meter is one of the main things I would look at. It's that little hot chili pepper icon that's from 1 to 3. So that kind of tells you at a quick glance what the odds of the boxes are and whether it's going to take a lot of spins to hit a good item or not. So there's things like that we implement to try to make it easy to identify which boxes are volatile and which ones are maybe less risk reward. So there's systems like that in place. But we're also working more on our reward system and on various systems that we can't quite talk about, but we'll be releasing in the near future to make it so that even when you get bad items, you also are still getting value. So we're constantly trying to add more ways that you receive value, even if you get unlucky. So as far as the legitness of the odds, we implement something called provably fair. So all of your random numbers that are generated to power box are transparently generated with an algorithm that we publish live. So if you're a technical guy, if you've ever done like some coding, you can actually go and verify everything that I'm saying right now. There is transparency in every aspect of our business. So as far as whether it's fair or legit, as far as the RNG, as far as how we price and ship things, we are extremely transparent on those. So I recommend you go check out those features that we have to kind of let you peek behind the curtain. Anybody who's got suggestions, if we don't have time to go through each of them in detail, we have a channel in Discord called Suggestions. We read it as a team very frequently. So if you go check that out, then you can leave those there and we will absolutely get to those. And a lot of the time, our upcoming features are coming from that suggestions channel.
But Marlon, what's coming up, man?
Yeah,
Tell
so
us,
as far
what's
as
coming up?
upcoming product updates, so we have a lot of profiles improvements coming. The profiles launch was just the beginning. It was a limited feature set to see how you guys liked it, and you guys really liked it. So we're adding a lot more to that. A fun fact is so Dan, our product manager, who's talked to you guys before, was looking at the data on how people are using profiles, and he made us guess Price is Right style what the number of profiles our average person is looking at. So for someone who looks at a profile, how many do they look at? And if you guys want to take a guess real quick here, how many profiles the average user is looking at, it was a lot more than I thought.
No one from the community council can enter in this because they know this answer already. But we got some close answers: 67, 15.
It says in here 150. If I remember from Dan talking, I think it was
correct.
actually closer to 170 maybe. Either way, a lot. So you guys have been looking at a lot of profiles, obviously using the feature per person. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Per person.
So we're going to be working more on that, letting you guys do more to interact with each other. These are the types of things when we launch something, we look at and say, are people using it? Is it providing value? And obviously it is. We see a lot of people finding forge boxes through profiles now. We see a lot of people using affiliate codes through profiles. So we're going to keep working on the things that we see empowering you guys. So as far as what's next up for profiles, we're adding the ability for you to like another person's profile as well as add a tag to your profile to help you define your role. So for example, box staff can add tags to their profile as staff. Community council members will be able to label themselves as community council members. And as we add more features as a platform, there'll be lots of different tags that you can sort of earn or unlock as you use the platform. Next up, we're also going to add the option for you to pin your top pulls to your profile and essentially show off the best hits that you've got. So you'll be able to choose from cards that you've opened already and then put them on your profile. So if you've opened 10 Moonbryons, you can have a wall of Moonbryons. If you can open other things or have opened other things, then you can put those in there. So that's another fun thing that we'll be adding. All right, so I think that's mostly it for next ups that we can talk about right now, but we always have lots of new stuff coming every month. But for now, I'll hand it over to Scott.
Sounds good. I wanted to talk briefly about shipping times and fulfillment times because this is a topic that we haven't actually covered off on in quite a lot of months. And so I thought I'd dive into this topic for a couple of reasons. One, I feel like we have tons and tons of new users that are up in here in the audience, but also that have been in the site since January onwards, and so not everybody really knows what's been happening in the shipping and fulfillment world on our side of the business. And may not have been around last year. And, some of you who have been here or are new, have been waiting longer than I think we would like you to be waiting. And so I just want to give some background information on what's going on in fulfillment world, what's going on with shipping and what you can expect. Quick backstory for those that weren't here, like last year, for example, with our site. We started out this company like this time-ish last year. We had a shipping partner that was a third-party partner. They had fallen out and weren't fulfilling their end of the deal, couldn't keep up with the volume that we were pushing. And so we had a lot of wait times back early last year. That prompted us to build out a bigger, better shipping team on our own, which was not something that I think was originally intended when the company was started. And so from that moment onwards, shipping got gradually better until the end of last year where it was like really good. And wait times were down in like the 2 to 3 week range for quite a while. When we came back in the new year, January, things were still real good. And then by the end of January, if you were around then, that's when we had a big partnership with Shroud. Our advertising efforts really started to ramp up into gear, and we thought we were prepared for the amount of volume that would be coming through the door. But I think even then we underestimated just how many new users we'd bring in and the downstream impact that was going to have on our fulfillment team. So like I said, I think some of you guys who may be here from like the February or March timeframe, if that's around when you joined, or if you were making orders in that timeframe, you've probably no doubt noticed you've had to wait longer than 4 weeks. Like sometimes it's 5 weeks, sometimes it's been 6 weeks. You're just unfortunately part of that crowd, that like crowded window of time where our volume of orders really spiked, and it's taken us a lot longer to get to your orders than it normally would. And I just wanted to address it on this call because this call is all about transparency and making sure that we're being as communicative as possible with you guys. We're really sorry about that. That's not the level of service that that we are intending to provide. So I just want you to know we are aware and we are working on it. So that being said, like, I want to also address and talk about like what's being done, what are we doing, and what can you guys expect from this moment forward? Some things that have been happening in the background. So we've been working on staffing. That's been an ongoing thing, right? Like those that have been around, we've staffed up at the end of last year, and it worked really great, and we were back to a really great status. Like I was saying, shipping pretty quickly. We have continued to keep staffing up, and over the last like 2-3 weeks, we've doubled the size of the shipping team. And that's the single biggest thing that we can do to speed up, how we process and procure and ship out cards. So more staffing, and we're not stopping. We're just going to continue staffing up to basically meet future demand. That's one of the easiest and quickest things that we can do. The other thing that we've really addressed is we had quite a few teams that work remotely for us fly into our shipping facility and start to think about and work on process on the ground floor amongst the fulfillment team that's already there. Because it's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. So our engineering team has been making lots of improvements to back-end systems that our fulfillment team uses. That's going to make card ordering a lot more intuitive. And that process should help us in the future get ahead of large order volumes so that we're not getting caught off guard by that or thinking that we're over-prepared when we're really not over-prepared. So I'm excited about all of that. The third thing is automation. So we purchased a machine that automatically sorts and scans cards into our inventory way, way faster than we could ever do this thing manually. So that in conjunction with some of those process improvements I just talked about is going to make, that's really going to speed up some of the more grunt work process stuff that happens on the ground that us lowly humans couldn't do as fast as the robot. So in the meantime, while all of those things still gain traction and everybody downstream sees the impact of that, we have returned the gem fee to anybody that was waiting longer than 30 days. So if you ordered in February, you ordered in March, if you've been waiting longer than our stated 30-day wait period, your shipping fees are returned to you automatically. That already should have happened, and you get an email notifying you of that. And that will continue to be our standard policy moving forward. We will just, if we fail to live up to our end of the deal, what we state as our standard wait times, like we're not going to be making you wait for shipping. We'll eat the cost of shipping. And we will still get you your cards as soon as we can get them for you. The other thing that we're doing, and this rolled out in today's site-wide update, is you can now see there's a little turtle icon on the cards in your inventory. Those are marked on cards that are in high demand. It's just merely meant to be in place so it gives you, an opportunity to decide what to do. So that's like some backstory on like what is being done about it. I want to also just talk to like what you can expect, expected wait times looking forward. So from March 21st onward, those are the orders we are currently working on, and we're working on them as quickly as possible and catching up really quickly. We just got another very encouraging update right before the call from our fulfillment team about how many orders they got out today and how that is chipping into the backlog. The backlog is much shorter than it ever was before, and we have far more people and systems in place now to churn through that backlog way quicker than we did last year when we were running into fulfillment slow times. April orders, I feel like you can expect to have your orders shipped with that, like within a 4, maybe a 5-week wait time at worst. And then May orders, we're back to our usual, 2 to 4 week wait time. So we are entering May as you guys are playing on site and winning stuff and pulling cards. If you're withdrawing cards, we'll be caught up and we should be able to get you your orders in that normal wait time in the month of May. So it's unfortunate. It's not where we want to be, but at the same time, when things don't go as planned, we want to be as upfront and transparent with you guys as we possibly can. So that's it for me. I know there might be questions on that stuff. And I have not been looking at chat. So I'm going to scroll through. And if anybody has questions, I don't know, Luke or Mylan, jump in.
Wow, that was a lot. But I think, yeah, hopefully that kind of covers a lot of the questions and queries you guys have been asking about shipping. So again, thank you from me for all the patience you guys have got.
Yeah, also, you guys should see these card sorter machines that we're getting. They're pretty insane. It's what TCG Player uses in their direct facilities, and they're just like these giant like arrays of stacks of cards, and it's like suction cups them, but it doesn't damage them. It's pretty ridiculous. No, they are not cheap. they are many tens of thousands, but they are definitely much faster for sorting through thousands of incoming mail and things like that.
Oh, someone's mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh! Interesting. One Piece Exchange, again, that is something down the line if I'm correct.
Yep, that will be coming. The big thing about Exchange is we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where we can't get you cards easily because we have everything available unlimited, right? Like when we design a box for a category where cards are somewhat harder to get, sometimes in like One Piece or Lorcana, we set the odds, knowing that, well, on average, this is how many opens we expect to get, and then this is how often we expect this card to get withdrawn. But if you could just go exchange for it like infinitely, then we would be in a situation where we might have more delays and whatnot. So we are making sure to kind of roll that out step by step and not put ourselves in that situation and then have you guys disappointed in how long or how hard it is for us to get the cards.
Pockets had a question about profiles. Are we adding more backgrounds for profiles? And are we going to be able to upload our own background to our profile?
I think we answered that literally on Tuesday when we spoke, didn't we, Scott?
Yeah, well, I guess generally speaking, probably not uploading your own backgrounds. I know that that can get hairy real quick. And although we have some systems in place for moderation, ideally, we don't have to spend a lot of time on that because it takes us away from building cool features. So I think for now it'll be sort of custom curated, but potentially in the future, I think a middle ground there is like doing like a community competition where people can submit backgrounds or things like that, and then they get added versus anybody uploading anything. Yeah, chat is one of the big sort of overhauls that will happen in the future. So expect in, I don't want to give a too definite time frame, but probably in the next like quarter, so like next like 3 or 4 months, there should be like some massive chat upgrades, and maybe sooner. It depends on how we prioritize it, but we have some bigger things coming down the pipe. When will those of you not in the United States be able to use the website? Japan here. Can't talk too much about that, but we are doing lots of international expansion in this year. So you will eventually have access and be able to get cards.
It's one of our most frequently requested things, obviously, and it was difficult prior to current government situations to get cards, shipped around internationally, and now things are more complicated. But we really want to make it happen. Obviously, collecting extends way beyond just the UK and Canada and the US, so we're working on it. We got questions about WWE.
WWE is maybe in the future. It's one of those things where we need to make sure we have a good supply, but we're not against it by any means. We want to have as many cool collectible items and especially more sports and different cards as we can. So as far as requesting cards or items be added to box, we don't have a formal way to do that right now. But the suggestions channel is definitely the best way currently. But in the future, we're going to be implementing more systems on how we buy items and then also how we add items to the site. So expect some updates on that eventually. But for now, just let us know directly in the suggestions.
Like, trust me, I know every town hall you guys always say we want this and that, but like, the more of you need to like put it into suggestions so we can actually really see like how much you guys want this. And when we put out polls as well, that's a really good way for us to see what is you really guys want on the site added. Cool. Spring Festival. We've just wrapped up with that yesterday. It was really, really cool. Really show a lot of love from you guys with 18 brand new boxes. We had a graded slab box as well, and that went quick. I think much quicker than we expected it to go as well. So thanks to all of you who got involved and had fun. Thumbs up from us. So next we've actually got something called Slabfest. Cool little thing relating around the marketplace. Marketplace has been, a really big thing for us. And you guys have showed a lot of love for the marketplace, which has been really, really good to see. And we really want to celebrate the marketplace. So we've got some fun little things coming towards the marketplace. Some focused for that and some even community focused. So we're going to have some official slab boxes. These are going to be boxes that are completely different from our, our standard box release. They're going to be completely marketplace items only, and they will be updated daily, so you don't see gem vouchers and stuff. So keep an eye out on those. Really, really cool. There's going to be a marketplace gem bonus for a limited time. So all your items in your inventory get a 10% bonus in value when you take them from there into the marketplace to exchange for some slabs. So fun way for you to finally get some slabs that you've been dreaming to get. But then we've got a really cool little thing that we've decided to do, which is the slab back giveaway. So each day, anyone who withdraws from the marketplace is automatically entered into a giveaway. What do you get from that giveaway? Well, you can actually win back the value of your order. That's correct, the whole value of that order. So pretty huge. I don't know what you think, Scott and Mylan, but that's pretty wild.
I'm excited for this whole event. I think we put a lot of creativity into this one, and somebody suggested, our creative director suggested, why don't instead of like giving away like a graded slab as the prize, what if they get the slab that they purchase and they get their gems back for that, whatever that slab is, right? So if you go huge, you could end up getting tons of gems back. So I think it's pretty creative.
Cool. And then finally, we're going to have Forge playlist. So basically, create the best slab only boxes in your category, and well, the box team is actually going to be reviewing them, and we're going to be promoting the best ones on the homepage for each individual categories. So that'll give your boxes more visibility, and well, for all you Forge creators out there, it's time to see you start cooking. But as someone did ask, yes, we are coming up to our 2nd anniversary. Can I get a drum roll, please, in chat for what's coming up?
They have a soundboard on Discord. Let's see if we can find something.
Oh God!
I'll save each other's ears. That normally is really loud and obnoxious.
Cool. So, firstly, I think Marlon, probably from you as well, but like, it's our 2nd anniversary, so we want to say thank you very much for supporting us. We've come a long way, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. Like, you guys really do help make this community what it is, and we love each and every one of you. As cringe as that sounds, we really do. So we wanted an event that really gave back to you guys, as that's so important to us. So what are we going to be doing? The answer is a ton of stuff. So from the 12th of May to the 8th of June, there's going to be daily rewards. That's right. It's something new every single day. We're going to be having things from, community events. So that's going to be like getting involved, playing some games, winning some free gems. We're going to have some of our community streamers going live. They're going to be doing some fun battles and giving away a ton of gems. We're going to have potentially some new category stuff going out there, given away. TBC, can't tell you any what that is, but if you've got any suggestions, throw them in the chat. Some of them may have been mentioned already. We're going to be giving away some sealed product. as well of various different categories. And we're going to be doing stuff as well for Counter-Strike. There's going to be some real fun bits on that. We're going to have some bonuses. But honestly, like, there is... I really don't... I don't want to just tease you guys and just be like, oh, I'll leave you on something. But come May 12th, you guys are going to absolutely love what we got planned for you. And yeah, it's just a big thank you from us as a team. Don't know if you want to say anything on that, Scott and Marlon.
No, I mean, you covered it, man. What I would add on top of that is this is a lot of work and planning on our team goes into this and a lot of love. And it's because we do genuinely want to celebrate the community. I feel like it's one of the greatest strengths of our product, of our service, of this business we've operated. We'd be nothing without the community. And I feel like that's one thing we consistently hear feedback on is that, even through some frustrations with things like slow card shipping, people stick around because they love the community that we're building, and they can see that we're well-intentioned. And this is one way where we can physically demonstrate just how much we appreciate everybody and just how good our intentions are as we strive to keep making this cool, innovative product even better, than it is now, and keep improving on the things that we can do better. And so, yeah, thank you to everybody that allows us to keep doing this.
I couldn't say it better myself. Generally speaking, they covered it, but just coming from me, guys, really appreciate everybody, continuing to show their support, engaging in all the different features, letting us know when we're, maybe missing the beat on something, and then also celebrating things like, contributing to the Forge, being excited about profiles, all the things that you guys do. It really is why we're all here. So I really appreciate you guys so much. And we're really excited for what we have in store for the birthday. If you were here for our last birthday, this one is going to be bigger and better.
I think that about does it, yeah?
I think for anybody who has questions like unseen right there, feel free to reach out to our support. That's the best way that you'll get stuff like that answered, as we can't look into it on the spot. For everyone else, it seems like we're mostly through the questions, so I think we're going to wrap up. But really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. We have a lot of big stuff coming, especially between now and the end of this year is going to be insane. I feel like I always say something like that, but then it always is like bigger and better every time I say it. So really excited for what we have in store, and especially the next month. Thank you guys so much. See you guys.
All right. See you guys
Peace.
later.